stand in the middle of the Orkhon Valley in central Mongolia on a clear October morning. The sky is the kind of blue that makes your eyes hurt, vast and cloudless and brutally cold. There is almost nothing here. A monastery with white walls, a few tourist buses, horses grazing somewhere in the distance. Beneath your feet, buried under 8 centuries of sediment and silence, is the capital of the largest contiguous land empire in human history. A city where a Frenchman named Guillaume Boucher, captured in Hungary, built a fountain that dispensed wine, mead, rice beer, and fermented mare's milk on command. A city that controlled the fate of 100 million people across 24 million square kilometers. A city that, today, is almost entirely gone. This is Karakorum. For thousands of years, the people of the eastern steppe lived as nomadic pastoralists, following their herds, living in felt tents, owning no fixed territory. A Mongol warrior in 1200 could cover 100 kilometers in a day. He could sleep in a saddle and shoot a target at 200 meters while riding at full gallop. At the Great Kurultai near the Onon River in 1206, Temujin was proclaimed Genghis Khan, universal ruler. In the next 20 years, the Mongols destroyed the Jin dynasty, shattered the Khwarezmian Empire, and sent cavalry columns to the edges of Europe. Genghis Khan chose the Orkhon Valley. Around 1220, he ordered the construction of a fixed administrative center. He called it Karakorum. Between 1235 and 1240, Ogdi built the Tumun Amugulang, the 10,000 satisfactions. Chinese architects designed the walls. Prisoners of war laid the stones. Ogdi loved feasting. He loved drinking catastrophically so. His advisors convinced him to limit himself to 1 cup of wine per day. He responded by using a larger cup. He ordered Buddhist temples, Christian churches, and Muslim mosques built within the walls simultaneously, not out of spiritual openness but Mongol pragmatism. You arrive in Karakorum in the summer of 1253. You are William of Rubruck, a Franciscan friar sent by King Louis IX of France. It is not as big as the village of St. Denis. You will write to the king. The monastery of St. Denis is worth 10 times the palace. The great hall of the Tumun Amugulang. Massive lacquered columns, a ceiling that rises to darkness, murals of Mongol cavalry covering the walls. This is Guillaume Boucher's masterpiece. A silver tree nearly 3 meters tall, golden serpents on its branches, for golden lions at the base, each delivering a different drink. Outside the palace walls, Karakorum hums. The streets smell of cooking fat and incense and leather and horse dung. Merchants haggle in 6 languages simultaneously. In this city of perhaps 10,000 permanent residents, you can hear every major language of the known world within a single afternoon's walk. Ogdi Khan died in 1241. He was drinking as usual. He died at 56 years old, of what the sources call overindulgence. The Mongol armies were already in Poland and Hungary. Vienna lay open. Nothing stood between the Mongol vanguard and the Atlantic coast of France. They turned around and went home. Europe was not saved by its knights or its walls. It was saved by the death of an alcoholic ruler 5,000 kilometers away. 2 brothers faced off. Kublai, who controlled China, and Erik Bok, who held Karakorum. For 4 years, they fought a civil war across the steppe. Kublai won, and his victory destroyed Karakorum. The Muslim quarter emptied first. The merchants went where the money was, and the money was in China now. The craftsmen followed. Kublai Khan moved the capital south, first to Xanadu, then to Dadu, the city that would become Beijing. What remained in Karakorum was a ghost. In 1380, a Ming army under General Su De marched north. As long as Karakorum existed, it would serve as a rallying point for Mongol resistance. They destroyed Karakorum systematically, not the careless destruction of a city taken in battle, but deliberate erasure. The walls were dismantled stone by stone. The great tree fountain of Guillaume Boucher disappeared. Whether melted down, buried, or carried away in pieces, no one knows. Within 50 years, a Tibetan Buddhist monastery called Erdenzu had been built from the salvaged stones. Karakorum did not simply disappear. It was converted. Within 8 years of the Ming destruction, the grass had grown back over the rubble. The steppe absorbed everything as it always had. The first serious archaeological investigation happened in the 1870s, when a Russian expedition identified the site. European scholars had debated whether Karakorum had existed at all. The walls are there if you know where to look. Trenches reveal their foundations, packed earth faced with fired brick, constructed by Chinese engineers following Tang dynasty specifications. Ceramic shards from every corner of the known world. Chinese celadon, Persian lusterware, Korean stoneware, Central Asian glazed tile. The detritus of a global trade network frozen in sediment. In 2011, archaeologists found a bronze mold for casting Chinese-style coins. In 1206, the Mongols had no coinage system. Within 30 years, they manufactured their own currency. No civilization expanded its sophistication this quickly. Stand in the Orkhon Valley today. Let the wind come off the mountains. The most powerful government in human history sat here, in this grass, in this wind, and left almost nothing. Maybe that was always the point.